Good afternoon. It is Technique Tuesday and just gone 2 o'clock. I hope everyone is well. Hello, hello. I see we have a good crowd of people here already. So awesome. I know sometimes some of you like to pop on early and have a chat before I start. So you're very welcome to do that. I try and always post the link earlier in the day so that you can go to the YouTube site early and start chatting if you want to. So I hope everyone's having a good week. We've had some hot weather. We're kind of experiencing a little bit of a cool down, and then I think it's going to heat up again after tomorrow. So, hello, Jen. Nice to see you. Hi, Marie. Hello, Denise. How is your new life going? That's fun. I'm just checking. So Margaret was here early. Monique was here early as well. Goodness me, Monique. It's too early for you. I'm so sorry. So hopefully you'll be able to pop back and watch the replay. I hope you have. Chris, hi. Hey, Nicole from Perth. How is everything going? Hi, Janine. You're in Colorado and it's 8 p.m. So that's not a bad time. This time of the day I think is pretty good for you, isn't it? All right. So I've had to do in the last 20 minutes or so, I've had to do a quick change about the technique that I was going to use today. So I had it all planned out. I had a card made. I had it all worked out. Everything was great. And then about 20 minutes ago, I suddenly realized that the main item I was going to be using was out of stock, not available. And I'm like, well, that won't do. I mean, I guess I could show you a technique, but then if you can't go and actually buy or purchase the items you need to be able to do it for yourself, I feel like I'm probably wasting our time, my time and your time. So I've done a quick change, and so I'm not as prepared today as I would like to be. Hi there, Trish. How are you? Nice to have everyone with me today. So this is a different time. I normally go live 7:30 of the night time here in Australia, so Sydney time. But today, Tuesdays, I'm earlier. And also when I do my craft along, which is happening this Thursday, it's this same time. So it's a 2 o'clock start for that one as well. So that's in 2 days from now. So whatever time you're watching now, in 2 days' time on Thursday, I will be live again. So it's Tuesday here in Australia, and in exactly 2 days from now, I'll be live for Craft Along. So, yes, that is better not having to teach at 8 a.m. That's awesome. Hey, Leslie, nice to see you. I'm so sorry if I miss people's names. I know there's more people here than I'm able to say hello to, so I do apologize, but I'm going to get started so that, because like I said, I'm not quite as prepared as I would normally like to be on a technique class. So I am well. Thank you for asking, Trudy. I am very well. You don't mind seeing something when the item's out of stock? Yeah, but my idea is, to help you, work out what items you want to add to your orders and that kind of thing. So it makes sense for me to use something that you can actually purchase. All right. And it'll come back. It's something that's definitely coming back in stock. So I'll just do that one another week. Hi, Patricia from New York. How are you? All right. So I'm going to go over to the desk, and then we can get started over there. So hopefully everyone can see my desk. Okay, you won't have any sound until I fix the phone. So little technical problems today. So let me try and see why my phone just logged out on me. Because I can't do sound without the phone. And when the phone does log back in, we're likely to get an echo. So the sound is back. Yeah, the volume went because the phone died, and the phone is my audio source. Okay, now I'm going to be turning this off again in a second. So there might be an echo for a moment. Just bear with me. Technical problems. Let's see if we can get this to work properly. Sometimes people think that I know what I'm doing. People, you know technology. No, not really. I just muddle my way through. That's what I do because that's how it works. All right, so in a second, let's see. All right, I'm going to hit this button and then I'll have to turn the sound down on the laptop. Sorry about the echo. Okay, sound should be back. Are we good now? I'm so sorry, guys. So let me just tidy up a little bit here. I can see everything's a little bit messy, and you might be able to see what I'm going to play with today. Look, it's only because I've done it lots of times. And sometimes technology just doesn't play nice, right? So I don't know why. So let me get this cables and things out of the way. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we're back. We're in business. And I'm just going to go back to one screen. Thank you. Yeah, when I first log in, I have to actually select which one I want to use. All right, we're back to one screen, and you can probably see what I'm going to be using today. All right, now I know, Janine, my apologies to you. I know you're not a cutesy animal person. I know this, but I decided because I had to quickly come up with something, I'm going to show you the masking technique today with the Jungle Pals set. Okay, so you just got the bundle. Yay, there you go. So this is actually a celebration set. Let me grab my celebration catalog. This is the celebration catalog. Everything in here is free, okay, and we like it. So it's a gift with purchase, basically. So this is the Jungle Pals stamp set. Depending on where you are, the qualifying amount is a different amount, okay. In Australia, it's $90 if you spend $90, which is like about an average bundle price for the most part. Some bundles are more than 90, some are just under 90, but if you spend 90, then you can choose this stamp set, the Jungle Pal set, for free. Okay, and then there is a matching set of dies, but this is a higher value celebration set, which means to get the dies you'd have to spend $180. So if you wanted both the Jungle Pals and the dies, you would be spending $270 altogether to get both, but you don't have to get them all at the same time. You could get just the dies and then the stamp set all the other way around. So here are the dies. I actually really like these. I've used them a couple of times. I used these and put some birds on the branches. That looked really cute, and I'm going to use this one today. And then we've got some fun leaves that kind of look like jungle leaves, you know, kind of big, fat, palmy kind of leaves. And there's also, you know, we've got a vine here. That some of our animals, for example, the sloths. Did some of you in my VIP group see the sloths that I posted a photograph this morning? One of my customers absolutely loves sloths, and she's been this is a long time customer. She's been with me almost the whole time that I've been doing this, so about 17 years, and she absolutely loves sloths. She has pajamas with sloths, she has stationery with sloths, she has sloths on her t-shirts, sloths, I can't even say that word, sloths as far as the eyes can see. So she absolutely loves anything that has sloths in it, and every time I see them I think of her. So there we go. So I thought I would sort of do something with these, and masking is a great little technique, so let's give it a try. Okay. Yes, you can hear me. That's awesome. Fantastic. You like to do a realistic animal with a pun. Yes, realistic animals, some people really like much prefer a realistic animal. These are more like a cartoon kind of an animal, but they are really good for doing the technique that we're going to do. So I've got a piece of basic white paper. I'm just going to move. I put them all on blocks because I'm hoping to use all of them, but we'll see about that. Now, the stamp set only has the animals. It doesn't have any leaves or anything. If you want the leaves, you could, you know, get them from the dies, or you could use paper that has leaves on it, and I'll show you a couple of examples of that. I'm going to cut my base piece of cardstock like a card front size, so it's 14.3 centimeters by 10. I may end up cutting this down again, but let's see. So the first thing we want to decide, and I think this is kind of important, is which animal should be in front, because anytime you're going to do masking, Okay, you want to have the animal that is your focus animal, you stamp that first, okay? And all the animals, then you want them, if you want them sort of behind the other animal. So I'm thinking that the tiger is probably a really good one to have as my focus animal. And I'm deciding, do I want to go landscape or do I want to go, I think probably I'm going to try going landscape today. I haven't done a landscape card with these yet, so we'll see. And you can stamp in black if you would like to. There's Memento Black, but I'm actually thinking I might start with, I like to go slightly softer. So I'm going to go early espresso for my stamping. Although the tiger has black stripes. Oh, maybe we do need to go black. Maybe we will. Okay, let's just go with black and see how we go. All right, now these are rubber stamps, which means lots of detail. Lots of detail is always good with rubber stamps, and you can, the Memento Black pad is a different type of pad. So instead of just lightly tapping like we would with our foam pads, you can smush this around and really go to town and make sure you're getting plenty of ink on it because you want a good stamping. All right, and I'm going to have my tiger is going to be sort of down here in the bottom part of my screen. So I'm going to make sure he stamps really, really well and give him a good push. The crocodile would be better. So there we go. We have our tiger. The crocodile would work as well. Absolutely. Oh, you think the toucan or lemur should be in the front as they're smaller? I was thinking I might do a combination. I might actually have the lemur out in front by actually cutting him out with the die. Maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't even check to see if there was a die for the lemur. I think there is. Yes. So all the animals, like this one, the lemur has his own little die. All the animals have a die, which is great. All right. So we've got our tiger. And then I want to have, I'm going to actually stamp. I'm going to get my scrap paper here. And I'm going to stamp him again. And I'm going to do this on a scrap of paper. So this is your basic masking techniques. There are a lot of different things you can do with masking, but this is a basic masking technique. So I'm just going to stamp him here on this piece of scrap paper. And then I'm going to cut him out. So the stamping on this guy doesn't matter because he's not going to end up on the card. This one is on the card, but this one is not going to be. And I'm going to grab myself some paper snips. And then we all get to chat to each other and you can ask questions and I'll try and keep an eye on the comments. I love the toucan too, Marlene. I think the toucan is super cute. So here's a couple of little, when you're doing masking, normally if I was going to cut out, I mean, normally I wouldn't because I'd use the die, but if I was going to cut out something, I would leave a little bit of a, like this, I would leave a little bit of a gap all the way around. Can you see that? The little tiny gap that I've left between my cut line, and you know, I just think it looks more professional. But when it comes to masking, the way to get a really good masking result is to actually cut closer. So you actually want to cut on the line, okay, not just outside the line, but on the line, or even slightly inside the line. And the reason why is because you need to take into account the thickness of the paper when you're doing this. Believe it or not, every little bit of, every tiny bit of thickness of this paper is going to make a difference into how well it masks. All right, so I'm going to cut this tiger out, and I know that's going to take a little while I do this, but I'm going to try and move it along for you. If I was doing a pre-recorded video, I would speed this bit up and play some nice music while I do it, but because we're live, I can't do that. So that's okay. Does anyone have any questions? Want me to talk about anything while I do it? You have a sketch of toucans as your background. They would be fun to color. Yep, they would. I like toucans. I like birds, but everyone knows that. All right, so I'm cutting literally on that line or slightly inside the line, because what happens is that if we cut too far out, we will get a little gap all the way. When we try and put our second stamp on, we're going to get a gap, and I'm trying to avoid the gap. All right, so you don't have to be completely precise with this, but I'm trying to go as neatly as I can, but slightly either on the line or slightly inside the line. All right, so he's going to look a little bit strange, like he's been shaved when we finished, but that's okay. He's just our mask. So I'm going to pop this here. I'm getting there. We're more than halfway. And I'm trying to do something else. When you cut, you may have heard me say this before, instead of moving your scissors, try and move your paper. You'll get a cleaner, smoother cut line, okay? So it just works better if you move your paper. That's just a little tip when you're cutting. And also cut with the inside. Don't cut with the tip of your scissors, cut with the inside part of your scissors. And you can see that it's cutting quite well. It's always sharper in the middle there. Now, when I'm finished this, I'm going to have a little look at it and we're going to see whether or not. Now, you can use your masks a couple of ways here. We can use them like I'm going to for stamping other animals so they look like they're going to be behind. Or we can also use it for masking off the animals when we come to do the background. That can work really well as well. So we'll use it in both ways, I think, today. So this is what happens when I have about 20 minutes of prep and think, oh no, what am I going to come up with instead? So never mind. All right, let's see. All right. So we've got our little tiger here. Now we don't need to colour him in. We'll be colouring this one in. But this one is going to go straight over the top of the other one. Okay. And then we get to decide what we're going to stamp next. Now I'm thinking we might want to have maybe a crocodile coming out from behind him. So let's ink him up also with Memento ink. If you were going to watercolor these, then I would recommend you use StazOn, but we're not watercoloring ours. But we could. Watercoloring is quick and easy, so that would be another way. All right, so we've got our base tiger there. We're going to put the other tiger over the top. And then I'm going to stamp my crocodile. So I'm going to have him going. And when you do it, you think, oh gosh, why is, it doesn't look right. You're stamping straight over the top of the other one. But with the mask on, it's going to look great. Right, so when I take that off, now our crocodile looks like he's behind the tiger. Can you see that? Because the tiger's tail is in front because we masked that off, okay? It's really easy to do, super, super easy, okay? I like this. I think it's fun. All right, so I think for this guy, I'm actually going to cut him with one of the dies. So I'm actually going to stamp him. I like the lemur. He's really cute. Now, wasn't it lemurs in the Madagascar movies? The penguins of Madagascar. I like to move it, that kind of thing. All right, so that's him. And I think I'm going to have my sloth on a vine. So I'm going to do him. Actually, we might as well stamp them all at the same time because these guys are going to be punched. They're going to be cut out with the dies. So let's pop that there. And I don't know whether we're going to use the toucan or not. I'd like to use the toucan because I like him. So let's stamp him and see what happens, whether we're going to have room for him or not. All right, so now I have my dies. I've got my lemur. What was his name? King Julian, wasn't it? Yes, King Julian, Nicole, exactly. There you go, you're with me. And then we've got the toucan. And then we've got the sloth. Val would be proud. She would love that. So I'm going to run those through the cut and emboss machine. And it'll literally take me like 20 seconds, and I can even look at your comments while I'm doing that. So which would eat what? I know. Let's pretend that, you know, this is some sort of, I don't know, some sort of utopia where animals don't eat each other for food. They're all vegetarians, you know, something like that. I don't know that any such world exists, but it's nice to think that maybe it does. All right, so I've got my little animals now. Oh, I think I messed up the toucan a little bit. It moved a tiny bit. Oh, well. Actually, I think I maybe moved it and they all moved a tiny bit. But that's okay. I can always fix that up if necessary. How did I do that? Oh, well, never mind. All right, so I'm going to cut this off because like I said, I just messed it up. Whoops. And I think the sloth is really cute. All right, happy with that. All right, so let's do our tiger. Let's color him. So we're going to need orange and black, aren't we, for that? So I'm thinking pale papaya has gone, so I think I'm going to need some pumpkin pie. How dark is this? Let's try underneath here. Whoops. And I'm thinking this part under here, maybe this should have been white under here, but that's okay. And the crocodile's definitely going to be green, so that's easy. But what green? What green do you think would be good for the crocodile? Should he be granny apple green? I mean, this is going to be a bright card. So I'm thinking, and I do have a better set of pumpkin pie. I think those ones need to go. They're really past their best. This is better. Let's use this end. I need to get some more pumpkin pie because it's been pushed and it's not going exactly where I want it. But that's okay. Now tigers would have a bit of white on their faces, don't you think? Don't you think they would have white on their faces? I'm sorry, this is going to be a bit of a longer card today, but that's okay. If you don't mind the process, I really like the process of colouring and cutting and all the things. I like all that. I don't mind a card that takes a bit longer to make, but sometimes you want a quick and easy one. But this video might be a little longer today because of all the colouring and the cutting. But that's okay. That gives you guys longer to talk to each other, right? I don't think we have lemon lime twist or parakeet. Well, that would be a very bright crocodile, but we could. I'm just looking here. He probably should have had a bit of white on his face and a bit of white on his chest, maybe. But oh well. Let's see. We're going to give him. I'm going with this is the lighter pumpkin pie that I'm using. And I'm deciding, do you think I should leave his face white or should I colour it in? I'm using the small end, which takes a little longer because I'm not happy with the way my dark end is. You think that's, their whiskers are kind of white? Yeah, exactly. All right. I'm leaning towards granny apple green for my crocodile, but maybe we could do a combination of granny apple green and lemon lime twist. That could work. Let's see, what have I got? Or parakeet party, because I do have parakeet party there and I do have granny apple as well. So let's see, this one is in much better shape I think than the pumpkin. Yes it is. Right, so I'm just going to do some of the darker color down here, down towards, and there's a bit of him behind here as well. So this is also, when you're doing masking, pay attention to any bits that are poking out from behind, because that will help to define where your creatures are. So just by making sure that you're getting all the bits that are sticking out behind what you've masked. So I'm thinking maybe we'll go with the brighter green for the parakeet for the spines on his back and maybe on his face. We'll see. Let's see if that will work. Actually, I have to be honest, I don't use Parakeet Party very often, and I probably should. So it's good to have a chance to use it. So let's try the darker one of these. Actually, they look good. It's bright, but it's not. It goes quite well, actually. Let's try the lighter one here. Oh, he's very bright, but that's kind of cool. I like it. All right, so now we have our tiger and our crocodile, and I'm thinking maybe because we've used Granny Apple Green, I will use Granny Apple Green as well for my vines, and I want to have a sloth hanging around on the vines, and I'm thinking maybe I'll take off the lower leaf here, and we can have a branch up here where the toucan can be, and then the lemur, instead of him being on this side, I think I'll have him over here, I think. But the other thing is I could go the other way with the tree too. No, I definitely want to go that side. Okay, I'm sort of getting an idea for how I want this to come together. Sloths are kind of do you think a crumb cake would work for a sloth? I think it might. I think that would be good. Either that or we go with grey. We could go a grey sloth or we could go a crumb cake sloth. And I'm leaning towards crumb cake. What do you guys think? It's a bright one in the catalogue. Ah, yes. That's probably good to use the catalogue as a reference, but I didn't think of that. And I'll grab another, maybe a light crumb cake for the body. Let's try that, because the lighter is a lot brighter. Now, the secret with using blends, for anyone who's wondering, is if you want them to blend, make sure they're still wet. So you only do small areas at a time, and just go over the area that you've just colored, the darker area, with your lighter color, and they will blend together. So that's actually a good way to do it. Like the tree die will fit in the mini cut. Yes, it does. My understanding is it does, and it does tell you if something will fit in the mini cut and emboss. It tells you. So let's see. Is there a thing here? Oh, it might not tell us here. Normally there's a little symbol, but because it's in the celebration catalogue, I don't think they thought to put that in there, because this is the only set of dies in the celebration catalogue, and there is no symbol. But I'm sure that they all fit in the mini cut and emboss, because this one, the big one, you could pop it in, long ways. Just, that's the only way it will go, but it will go. So, all right, I'm going to use I'm thinking maybe some, I've got a piece of pecan pie here, and I think that's a good color for the tree. So I'm going to cut my piece of paper in half. And I'm going to cut my tree, and I can do this way or I can go the other way, but this way takes up a little bit less space on my on my page. The other thing is interesting is it doesn't cut on this side. Okay, so that means it's only going to cut this edge, so you can have your tree as wide as you like. Okay, if you put this right up near the corner, it's going to be a very thin tree. If you bring it down, it's going to be thicker. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it down a little bit so I can make up my mind how much I want it to be. And then I'm also going to cut these, and I'm thinking Granny Apple Green is the right color for my vines. So I'm just going to cut these next to the table here, just so I don't mess everything up on the table. So here is my branches with my tree, which is going to end up over this side, but I'm not going to have this one on there. I'm going to have this up higher. So there's just the one branch here, I think. So let me get my scissors. Here they are. And I'm actually going to cut that straight off there. So it's right in line. And then the rest of it is going to end up here. I'm not going to put it on yet, and I'll show you why, because I want to play around with the background before I do that. But that's going to be the positioning of it. Okay, now this little guy needs to be cut. So I'm getting a scrap of Granny Apple Green. You're a big fan of Parakeet Party, aren't you, Jody? I know you like that colour. Or Lemon Lime Twist, which I think they're very similar, don't you? Now, I'm wondering if one vine is enough. It probably is. In the catalogue, it does show the sloth swinging on a second vine. So let's have a look. See here, you can see they've actually like done a double up, a dark and a light colour together, which is kind of cute. But I don't know if I want to do that on this card or not. Now, my lemur got messed up when I ran this through, so I'm a bit annoyed with myself for making it so badly cut. I don't know how I moved that. So I'm actually thinking maybe I need to cut another lemur because I'm not happy with how he cut at all. And I've still got my paper here and enough room to do another one. So let's do that. Luckily, I didn't try and colour him in. And let me grab my memento again. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a big messy crafter. I just can't seem to craft tidy. And I don't know if anyone else is like me, but that's just the way I am. I've accepted it. It used to really bother me, and I wondered, you know how I could become a tidier crafter. And then I decided, you know what, that's okay. I'm just not, and that's all right. And I'll tell you what, it's helped me enjoy crafting a lot more, not having to live up to some standards. It's just not me. So I know there are people out there who do craft tidy, and I look at them and I admire them, and I think they're so cool, but that's just not me. And it's all right. We don't all have to be the same. All right, this time I've done my sloth beautifully. Sorry, my lemur beautifully. Much happier with this one. There he is. See, much better this time. If I watch what I'm doing, see how I messed him up the first time? I actually nearly chopped his feet off actually. All right, so what color should we do a lemur? Should I make him yellow? Because I'm thinking yellow would kind of go with our colors here. What colors? They're white and black, aren't they? Are they white and black? I feel like I want to color him in some way. But I think maybe yellow is not particularly accurate. You need to have a little chaos. Absolutely. I tell you what, if that is true, if you need to have a little chaos to be creative, I am so creative, it's not funny. You're a messy crafter too, Vicky. Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's just the way it is. I'm thinking they're grey, white, and black. Should we do it grey and be accurate, or should we colour it yellow just for fun? Are we going to go fun or accurate? Which way? Artistic license, says Leslie. I clean probably whenever I need the space is when I do that. Now this is actually light lemon lolly, and this is actually daffodil. This is light daffodil. I picked up two different yellows. If I'm going to go yellow, I probably should go with daffodil and just go for it. Or if I'm going to go grey, we could go grey. It will still work. Fun. Everyone's saying fun. Yellow fun. All right, let's go yellow fun. And let's I'm going to, because he's small, I'm going to use the small end to color him, and I'm going to start with the dark. Start with the dark daffodil down the bottom here. And I'm going to color his tail yellow and black just for fun also. King Julian would have a fit, never mind. He'll just have to deal. Right, so this is the lighter daffodil. I really need to update my blends. I love blends, but I love them so much that I end up wearing them out, and I use them in classes, so they do get worn out, and I need to replace them fairly often for that reason. Right. Now, what color will we do his ears? In a light yellow. And I'm thinking I might just leave his face white. There we go. Right, so he can go down here in front of our tiger. All right, so this guy is going to go. So we need to start thinking about color, and I'm deciding with my blends whether my blending brushes, whether I will just grab some green and maybe some granny apple would be good. Now, this is what I was saying before. When you have a mask if I can find my mask, goodness me. When you have a mask that you've used, like the tiger, here he is, you can put this back on so that when you use your blending brushes, okay, this becomes actually a good mask for your background as well. So if I decide, for example, that I just want to add some green, as if it maybe was a bit like grass, that's also going to color beautifully. So I don't know if you can see that. Helps if I put it back in the right place. So we're just going to use some granny apple green down the bottom here. I'm going to, and luckily the crocodile is green, so it won't matter if we get a little bit on him. And then this tail needs to stay there. And see how that's perfectly, the coloring is going all around the shape of the tiger because I've masked that off. Also, the glass mat makes this very easy to do as well. Now, don't worry if it's not perfectly even. Grass is never even, and that's okay. In fact, I like it kind of if it's a little bit mottled and a little bit uneven. It's looking good. And then what color will we have in the sky? That is the next question. I'm thinking maybe balmy blue, maybe. Let me have a look. We could try Parakeet Party. Sorry, not Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide. But my Tahitian Tide, I need to re-ink it. It's a bit weird, so I won't use that. But I'm going to go balmy blue, I think. So balmy blue ink, and a blending brush. Let's pick up some color. And once again, I'm going to put my tiger back. Now, I could also do a mask for the crocodile if I wanted to. This is the secret of making sure if you have your, if you cut outside the line, like when we cut before and I told you to cut on the line, it leaves a gap between here and you end up with a little weird white, with a little, when you take the mask away, you end up with a little weird gap around your work. So I'm just going to come in. I'm not going to add a lot of color here. I'm just going to sort of add a hint of the blue. And we could add some clouds too, but because we've got other things going on in the sky, such as sloths and toucans potentially, I'm not going to worry about that. And I think I maybe need to re-ink my balmy blue as well. Looks like it's not putting a lot of color on. But like I said, I'm not too worried because I'm going to be adding other things in the sky. I just want a hint of color. Oh, thanks, Holly. Appreciate that. I'm just adding a little bit of color. Like I said, we don't need a lot. All right, so that'll do for that. Now, our lemur is going to go down here, and I probably put him on dimensional, so he's going to pop up. And it looks like they're all going somewhere, the lion, sorry, the tiger and the lemur. The branch here is going to end up here. So I need to work out how wide I want that to be. I'm thinking about there. I want the crocodile to have a bit of space. So let's get a bit of glue onto this. So I'm going to use Tombow. And I'm actually going to put my Tombow straight onto this piece. And then I'm going to pop that right there, straight down the side. And then I'm going to turn this over. And you can see here that I've got an overhang. I'm going to cut that off. So when it comes to masking, always think about, well, what do I want to have in the front? Okay, because whatever you want to have in the front needs to go on first. And then after that, everything else goes in behind that. So you can, like we did with the lemur, you can add something over the top if you cut it out and stick it over. But when it comes to the stamping part, you want to have your stamping, the first, the item that you want to have first is going to go in front. All right. Now, I'm not worried about this little mark here because that would be a great place for a toucan, don't you think? If I neaten my toucan up, he's going to go right there. And I've got to colour him yet. Ooh, he'll be fun to colour because we can do lots of fun things with his beak. So let me just, where's my lid? Here it is. Okay. So what will we do? I'm going to neaten him up a little bit and fix him because I messed it up earlier, but that's okay. I could cut another one, but the lemur was the one that was the worst. At least this one hasn't lost any legs or anything. He nearly lost a wing. Nearly lost a foot too. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I think it looks all right. All right. You would give crocodiles a wide berth? Yeah, absolutely. I actually had a letter from a customer today. She lives up in northern Queensland, and she was saying they have crocodiles, and yes, the rivers all ended up in the streets, and so did the crocodiles. So yeah. All right, I'm thinking I might colour my toucan. I'm going to colour him black, and then his beak multicolours. But I'm going to colour him black down here because they're black, aren't they? I think they are. I'm trying to be a little bit accurate. Maybe we can have fun too, but and I'm going to give him some fun feathers on top of his head in different colors. I'm using the smaller end of my blend because I don't want to, it's easier when you're working with a small space. And I think I'll give him multicolors on his tail feathers as well. All right, so we've got him there. I think yellow and red. What do you think? Yellow and Poppy Parade, maybe? Alligators and crocodiles scare you, do they, Leslie? I mean, if we were going to talk about our fears, I am mortally afraid of snakes. Snakes I can say goodbye to and never, ever worry about again. Or I'm going to have a yellow, and then I'm going to have a Poppy Parade end of his beak. I'm just going to go with a light Poppy Parade. So this is a longer technique video today, mainly because I didn't have this all planned out before I started. The idea was to do something completely different. But anyway, it's still fun doing this today. Oh, I just realized I need to color his other wing down here. And I think some tail feathers, yellow, orange, and red, I think would be good. I'm gonna he's a bit of fun to colour. Who likes colouring? Any of you guys big colouring fans? Because I am. Like to colour. It's very therapeutic for me. I just enjoy it. Oh, that's not good, Leslie. We lived on a farm for many years, and yes, our cats used to like to eat snakes too, but they didn't normally bring them home. They would bring home lots of other things. One brought home an eagle one day. It was huge, and I've always wondered whether he, did he kill the eagle or did he find the eagle? I don't know. It was a giant thing. All right, so now we have our sloth up here on the vine. This is how it's coming together now. What do we think? Do we like this? It's a bit of fun. After all the mucking around and, me not being able to show what I was going to show, quite liking how this is turning out, because I didn't know how it was going to turn out before. I'm wondering, where are we going to put a greeting now that we've done all this? And I'm going to pop a little bit of, you like to colour, Leslie, do you? Yeah, brown snakes are scary. They are, and I've had too many close calls with a brown snake. I think the reason I'm so scared of snakes is because when I was about 8, my very best friend in the whole world, who was our black Labrador, got bitten by a black snake, and it killed her. She lasted about a week and tragically passed away, and it was just heartbreaking, and I was scared of snakes from that time on. All right. I just have the sloth in my hand. Where is he? Where did he go? Here he is. Found him. I'm thinking he'll go here. I know, it was huge, and really we didn't find very much of the eagle. It was basically this giant talon that he was chewing on under the tank outside, and we're like, wow, how did he find that? But our cats used to stalk by the we had like a trough for the cows and the sheep, and the galahs would get into the trough, and we had a couple of cats, one in particular who would just stalk the trough waiting for galahs to relax and end up as their dinner. Poor galahs. But They never went hungry, those cats. All right, so now we have this. I'm wondering where we should put a greeting, or should we have a greeting inside the card, do you think? Also, the other thing I did think about this. Also in here, we have some really nice leaves, and I'm thinking maybe a couple of leaves would be really nice. You can use these ones as leaves coming down, which we could do in this case. Let's see how that would fit. Like I can have some leaves coming down. But I'm actually thinking instead, I really like this leaf. I really like this one, this big palm tree thing. I think it's really cute. And these are really nice. So we are getting to the end. We actually did it. So we have masked off our tiger and put our alligator behind, or crocodile, depending on where you come from. And I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green cardstock for my leaves. And I'm going to cut a couple of them. Because I think that would look good. And this might be a card that we put the greeting on the inside of the card if it won't fit nicely on the outside. So let's see, what have we got here? We've got a couple of leaves. I've got another one here. And I'm going to need, where is my, this will do. When you can't find your take your pick tool, you use whatever you've got to hand. So I'm wondering whether this might be too much, actually. What do we think? Do we like this? Or are these going to be overkill? What do you think? I do like them. I don't mind the leaves. I know, all the critters, they all get along, right? So I'm going to use you can use glue dots, you can use dimensionals, depending on, I'm going to have this one on a glue dot because I don't want them all to be up. I want some of them. I've got some customers who like to call these dimensionals, they like to call them uppities, which is always amusing to me. Let's pop a couple of dimensionals on behind here. No leaves tonight. You like some people like the leaves and some people don't. Sorry about that. I'm sticking them all on the outside here just because I like them. I could always put more leaves on the inside. The inside would be nice, yeah? Okay, so for those who don't know, I do a craft along event every month. This month we are doing the perennial lavender suite, which I really, really like, and that will be this Thursday at 2 o'clock. So the same time that I went live for this one, but it's going to be Thursday's video. I think if I had this inked up a little bit more, it would have been nice to have a slightly darker sky, but I don't mind it. It's sort of come together quite nicely. So this is a set you could have a lot of fun with. And if you have kids or grandkids, I think this is a really nice set to play around with and see what you can come up with. It's a lot of fun. And I'm deciding, I think because we've got a bit of the blue in the background, I'm thinking about maybe having a blue base behind my card. Let's see what that would look like. So if I was to go with this, I think that would work. What do you guys think? And then I would put a piece of white inside for us to write on. I would probably do that as well. So what I'm going to say is, if you like to do masking, or if you've never had a go at masking, think about how they work with some of the stamps that you have. If you want to have, they also work really well if you want to make a bouquet of flowers, and you can stamp your middle flower and then have all the other flowers coming out from behind that, and that's a really nice way to go as well. Now I'm wondering if I should have had a mat behind this. Now that I've done this, I can't help myself. I'm going to have to bring this down. I want it to be 13 point, instead of 14.3, we're going to bring it down to 13.8. Just a little bit narrower. And I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom, so it's at 9.5. And King Julian's just a little bit closer to the ground there at the front. And then I'm going to cut this piece so it's 10 centimeters wide. This is going to be my matte piece. I do like the blue, I've decided. I think it works pretty well with this. And then this is going to go on here. And then the whole thing will go on a white base probably. So I kind of like that idea. The sloth is wrong, free falling. What should we do different with him, do you think? Oh, very nice, Jane. Thank you. It's lovely to have you with us today. And don't, hopefully it might be your first time watching, but maybe you'll watch again. Be awesome. All right, let's see. Yeah, the sloth looks, I get what you're saying. He looks like he's doing something weird up there, doesn't he? I am not quite sure about him either. He's the only one I'm not sure about. All the others, they hang by their feet. So maybe, yes, maybe he's doing gymnastics up there or something. The sloth looks like a bit in fermented umbrella berries and he's drunk. Yes, okay, I get the message. I'm moving the sloth. The only thing is I stuck him on with dimensionals. So now we've got marks and we're going to have to, so he should be this way, right? Let me grab another dimensional. Pop that there. I've got him up the wrong way. It's not the first time I've put things up the wrong way, you guys. You know this. That's better. He looks much better now. There you go. We fixed him. We fixed the sloth. What do you think? Are we happy with this? And do we need a greeting on the front? Or do we need bling or anything else? Because it's kind of a, we could wink a Stella over the leaves. That would look good. What do you guys think? What would you like to see different on this card? You think it's super cute, Gina? Thank you. It's nice to have you here tonight. I know it's a bit of a better time this time for you than when I normally go live. So it's good to have people here from the other side of the pond. I'm just going to go winker stellaring over my leaves because, we've got to have some bling somewhere, right? Did I miss any questions or any comments that I should have addressed? No greeting, no bling, says Laura. Bright bling, says Jody. Yeah, that's a much better time, Gina. Much, much better. I'm really glad you like it, guys. I just think it's fun to pull out a new set, maybe something you haven't used, and have a go and think about how you could work masking into any group of objects that you are trying to position together on a card. So you could use dies and put one in front of the other, or you could stamp it out and use masking to get a different effect. So there we go. Leave as is, sentiment inside. Well, I've got a piece of white here, so let's do that quickly. Pop this on my white card base. So who's coming back on Thursday to watch Craft Along? Who's going to do that? Anybody? Hopefully. I've got a really great project for you. Super excited about it. I think you'll really like it. It's a card style that I have done before, but many, many years ago. Ooh, butterflies in the jungle. Yes, you could do butterflies in the jungle. You're going to be there, Denise. That's awesome. Now that you're not working, oh my goodness. Maybe butterflies would be just right. Let me find some butterflies. So we have the bold, is it brushed brass butterflies, which is the hardest thing ever. And who thought that would be a good idea to have people trying to say that? If you try saying brushed brass butterflies too many times fast, it's really, yeah, it's not good. Well, we've also got some dragonflies in the same style as the butterflies. So let me see if I can find them. Well, here's the dragonflies. We could use dragonflies because that'd be fun. Dragonflies would live in the jungle, right? So maybe some dragonflies. The butterflies are good, but I can't see them right now. So I'm thinking maybe dragonflies it is today. Let me grab. I'm going to grab the point of my scissors to get these off, only because I can't see my take your pick tool. And so it just makes it easier. Let's have a dragonfly here. And I'm thinking maybe one here that the crocodile might be about to snap up if he's not careful. And one flying high above the sloth. There we go. And then we can, you can do whatever you like inside. You could pop some leaves in here. You could pop another of the, maybe the toucan sitting in the corner there. He might be really cute. And then you can put your greeting inside. This stamp set doesn't have a greeting, but you can use any greeting from any set. I've been really enjoying the Hooray for Surprises bundle at the moment, and that's got some really great greetings in it. I really like it. Where did I put that one? It's next to me over here somewhere, but I'm thinking maybe, I put it where it goes in alphabetical order. So you've got Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful, Sending You Lots of Love, Hooray, Can't Wait to See You, Make a Wish, You're the Best. All of those is simply amazing. They all go really, really well. So that is a possibility for good sayings on the inside of the card. You like the dragonfly? Excellent. That's good. All right, you ladies. Well, and any guys who might be watching as well. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope it was a bit of fun. We got to use a new set, something that I haven't thought to use before, and we got to play with a different technique, which is masking. I hope that you'll be back again next Tuesday to see a different technique, and hopefully on Thursday when I go live with my craft along. So I hope that you guys have a fantastic week ahead. Look after yourselves, and if there's anything I can do, don't forget my links are all going to be in the description below this video. You'll be able to click in there on YouTube and see both my online store and any other bits of information that you might need. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.